What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Q&A on just questions about moving out, living on my own, anything that has to do with that. I went and asked on my Instagram, which I'll link right here for you to follow me if you aren't already. I asked some of you guys on Instagram for some questions. Thank you so much for those of you who did ask me something. If I don't get to your question today, I'm sorry. If my baby hairs are sticking up, honestly, like, just ignore that shit because it annoys me too. Ooh, all the pussies hopping, they chase me after school. If you know, you know. Alright, now that I have my lip gloss on, I'm ready. My hair is literally the most annoying thing on this planet, but it's fine. Also, by the way, sorry about that like fan noise. It's about like 100 degrees today and your girl is not trying to suffocate, so we got a fan because we don't got an AC, but we're working on that. Anyways, so the first question is, what is the best part about living on your own? I hate to say this, but honestly, if you know me, it would kind of make sense. It's really like not having to really owe anyone shit. I come here and this is my space that no one can interrupt, if that makes sense. And I really like just coming home and not having to talk to anyone. Like, is that rude? Someone called me. I also brightened up the lighting a little bit and I feel like it looks good. The makeup looks good and popping, but the hair looks like shit. So next question that was kind of part of the first was, how do you manage saving money still? So I'll be honest, I wasn't always good at saving money. Even when I first moved out on my own, I wasn't good at saving money. And I think that's why it was even more stressful than it was, because I didn't have any money saved. And when I think about it now, it bothers me so much that I wasn't saving back then in the granny unit, because my rent now is literally double than my rent was there and I wasn't saving. So basically I was just spending and spending money rather than saving any of it. So I think I started really like starting to save when I moved to my first apartment. I just wanted something to fall back on just in case, but I wasn't super serious, I guess, about saving until maybe my last few months there. And then I moved to my place now, and here I am still trying to save. I do pay more here than I did at the apartment. I pay about $500 more than my last apartment, so it's definitely kind of harder now, but it's definitely something I could adjust to. So when you really ask how I managed to save, I definitely don't do what I did when I was living at the granny unit. Like, I don't always go out to eat. I don't always go out to the mall and spend a bunch of money on clothes, you know. It's just kind of like, trust me, I still wouldn't do it, definitely. And I go to the mall and I see a bunch of things that I want, but then I just kind of have to realize that those things aren't really important. You definitely have to prioritize when you're trying to save money and make sure that throughout the month you're putting money to the side to save. And always set yourself a goal, whether it's $50 the first time, 20 even if you want to, you know, always set a goal. I think when I first started it was 50, and then I think the next month I doubled that, and then I started saving more, and then now I'm up to about trying to save $1,000 a month. That sounds crazy because on top of my bills, it is a lot. And I do stress myself out acting like that money is being taken from me when I'm actually saving it. But I try not to think of it as money that I have to spend. And I think that helps me a lot with not spending it, you know? It's almost like another bill I have to pay. Alright, so somebody asked, younger people that have the urge to move out of their parents, do you recommend it? I think it depends, really. I think obviously if it's something that you want to do and you're serious about it and you're going to work your ass off and do it, whatever, then go ahead. Obviously, it's up to you at the end of the day. But coming from somebody who didn't really have that choice, who kind of had a choice but didn't, but took a choice that was going to be better in my long run, I would definitely stay with my parents for as long as I could. I would definitely make sure I have some money saved up before doing that, if you obviously have the choice. I know some things are toxic, but I also know that sometimes you just want to be independent and you want to live on your own, you know? I totally get it, but also I wish that I would have been making, one, as much money as I do now, obviously, and two, I wish I would have been as serious about saving as early as possible. I'm 20 now and I'm, you know, still like maybe 10 months into saving. I wish I really would have started as soon as I started working, but I definitely do feel like moving out on your own definitely makes you grow up a lot. I feel like I can say I'm a lot more matured than people my age, but I never imagined how much I'd grow as an adult moving out on my own. It's definitely like taken adult life to like a whole nother fucking level. Like this shit's serious. It's not easy, and like props to anyone who does this. So my next question is, what websites / resources did you use to find the places you've lived in? So the granny unit that I've mentioned a few times, I actually got lucky with a family friend who knew the person who owned the house. So I got lucky with that, but for my apartment and my studio apartment that I'm in now, I actually found both of them on Craigslist. I know a lot of people are like, how do you find that on Craigslist? I never find anything on Craigslist. I just always go like every single day, sometimes more than once a day. I type in all different things. I type in the city I'm in, I type in a studio, apartment, 1 bedroom. I type in all these things. I switch my words around. I add other details. I don't know. And when I find a place that I like, I email them. I always send an email right away. Send an email because those things go fast too. That's why I look every single day. People are renting all the time. That's something that you need to understand. And it's not going to be a process as easy as looking one day and finding something right away, you know. Definitely takes time to find something. But yeah, I've always gone to Craigslist, and so far I've been pretty lucky. What are your 3 biggest pieces of advice for someone trying to move out? So I think I kind of already talked a lot about my first one. Definitely saving as soon as possible. My second advice would tie into my last question, which is keep going, you know. Patience is definitely key into finding a place. Like I said, you're not going to find it right away, and if you do, I mean, you're lucky, but you got to have patience, and you have to be consistent, and you have to keep looking, you have to keep calling, you have to go see the places. You definitely have to do all of that because, come on, you're working for it, you know. It's not just going to come to you. I've definitely had to learn that my last couple of times moving. And then my third most important piece of advice that I would give you would be don't settle. I know sometimes things can get stressful, having a lease can get stressful, but don't settle for something, especially if you're going to sign a lease. So my last apartment was a year, the place I'm at now is a year, but make sure you're not settling for something, because I think you have to definitely think this through. If whether you're moving in by yourself, whether you're moving in with a partner, a friend, whatever it is. But also, I wasn't happy, and that's kind of like the main point. I wasn't happy, and what made it a lot harder and what made me a lot not happier was being stuck in a lease where I wasn't happy. Make sure that whoever you're renting from is going to be cool with you. I can't stress it enough that the last 2 places I moved, my first place, my landlord was like super controlling and just super rude. And then my second one, I moved out of the city that I was basically raised in my whole life, and that really had a big effect on me. I had no friends over there. I had no job over there. It was just kind of like just to go home, and I hated it. That made me like hate going home. Definitely make a list of the things that you want. Make a list of the things that are going to be a deal breaker, and make sure you stick to it. If the energy isn't feeling right, it's not right, and just listen to that. So someone asked, how have you dealt with all of the new responsibilities you have now living on your own? I think when people think about living on their own, it sounds really scary, or almost just kind of like, for me, it definitely gave me anxiety. But also it's exciting in a way. When you finally hit that stage of independence in your life, it comes naturally. Obviously, everyone's raised different, and I think my parents and my lifestyle and all of that definitely prepared me for being on my own. My girl asked, how do you always make ends meet? You're so independent. Teach me your ways. So to make ends meet, I mean, I work obviously, so I work about 4 days a week. I'm a waitress, so I think waitressing and getting tips helps a lot. Sometimes I'll pick a few extra shifts up to kind of help me not stress too much about money. And I don't really have much ways, girl. It's just life. Once you find like real independence from everyone in anything, it's a game changer for sure. So this is a good question. What's the most difficult thing you've dealt with being on your own? All right, so when I first moved out, I was moving out of my grandma's house in my little room in the back. And growing up, I'd always lived with my siblings and my mom. And then when I lived with my grandma, I lived with my grandma, my great-grandpa. And then my great-grandpa passed away, and then she sold the house, and that's when I moved. So obviously my whole life I had always had someone there. I really liked coming home, and I know I said that I don't want to talk to people, but just having someone there and knowing that someone's there when I'm ready to go out and talk, when I'm ready to talk about my day, when I'm ready to go get a little snack, you know, having my grandma there was definitely something I was kind of used to when I moved out. So when I didn't have her there, when I didn't have anyone there, it was pretty hard. It was pretty lonely actually. And you know, around that time my best friend was leaving for college, Brian, so that hit me really hard, you know. And then after high school I just kind of like lost connection with, you know, one of my bestest girlfriends, and you know, just getting distant with everyone. I think that's how it is after high school. And then moving out, it was so much change that I felt so alone. And I think that was probably the hardest thing I had to deal with, was just finding comfort within myself. But now, we don't fuck with no one. Just kidding, kind of. Someone asked, do your parents help you at all? No, my parents don't help me with money, if that's what you're saying. So my last question for this video is, I want to see how you manage budgeting for bills plus responsibilities plus fun and shopping. I definitely have a little system that helps me make sure that I'm budgeting my money how I want to. Don't get me wrong, I definitely go and I spend money. I go out to eat, I go out and I buy a cute little shirt. I definitely do that, but that's the thing. Treat yourself, but don't put yourself in a position where you're gonna stress about money. I hate that. Like I said, I work about 4 days a week. I work 2 days throughout the week, and then I work the weekends. Every day during the week, my goal is to have 100. That $100 is gonna go towards bills and towards savings. And then on the weekend, I have a personal goal that I wanna make, and having that goal Saturday and Sunday, and then 4 times throughout the month, I make up about enough for my rent, and I make up a third of my savings goal. So that already takes so much weight off my shoulders, because rent's taken care of, and then I have money towards my savings already, and then I already have that $100, and then anything left over, like on the weekend, say my goal is 150. If I make 200, I can put that 50 towards free money. But throughout the month, I'm always taking money out of that, because I do always make more than my goals. And I take money from that and I put it in my savings. I put it in my savings. Because when I have money like that in front of me, it makes me feel like I can spend it. But when I put them in these certain piles for the end of the month, I don't feel like I want to spend it, and I just want to keep it. It's definitely hard at first, but once you really see that money coming in that you're saving and having it add up, it's kind of fun. Like right now, I'm in the process of saving up for a new car. If you know me, I have the worst luck with cars, and I'm so excited that after this month I'll reach my goal to go and do that. So it's exciting, especially when I have something that I want and I'm working towards it. And yeah, so that's how I put money to the side for bills and for saving, and then anything left over is kind of my little bit of money to splurge on myself, and at the end of the month, if I don't spend it, it goes into savings. That's what I do. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. Like and comment and let me know what you want to see next. I want to do makeup videos, but also I'm not really interested in makeup videos myself. Let me know something specific and I can do that, but other than that, I'm sure most of you know how to do your makeup, so I don't want to sit here acting like I know what I'm doing, because sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.